Monday's over, so now I'm here drinking some beers, going to talk with all of you. I also love that you all wore white to this to keep the theme going. I love it.
It's our work uniform. Yeah.
My only question for you is, if you are drinking anything tonight, do you have anything that you have not cracked that you would like to crack? Do the opening crack with me.
We will crack it.
Okay.
It's ready. It's ready.
All right. So we'll crack it, and then I'll do the intro and bring the four of you in.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds
So
good.
in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Beers with Bands podcast with your host, Michael Torres. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers with Bands. This week, I got another sick Milwaukee band on. I'm sitting down with Honey Creek. How are y'all doing?
I'm
Great.
great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like I mentioned, you guys are Honey Creek from Milwaukee. You guys are like a pop punk with a little bit of a newer like synth sound going on that we'll talk about from Milwaukee. But before we get too far, obviously, if you want to go around and kind of say who you are and what you do in Honey Creek.
I am Dylan 5 million and I play bass.
I'm Emmerich and I play guitar.
I'm Slam and I play guitar.
I'm Chris and I do some lead vocals. We also got a Donnie who's dead to us. He plays drum. And then Ellie, who is also dead to us. She plays synth, vocals, and guitar.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of dying going on. If anyone's checked your Instagram, it says Honey Creek is dead and you guys killed them. So I mean, technically, are we even talking to Honey Creek at this point, or are you guys like this whole new? Have you guys like thought that far ahead as to like what you guys are considered now on your own?
I would say, as far as you're concerned, you are talking to Honey Creek.
All right, we'll keep it at that. I don't want anyone like tracking me down. Well, I mean, kind of start off from the beginning. So I mean, kind of bouncing off of this whole, Honey Creek is dead. The last thing you guys released album wise was the full length in 2020. And I don't want to butcher names. Called A Whole Year in Transit. And if anyone's listened to that and is getting ready for this new release, there is going to be a big change. Where that one I felt like was more, like almost like mid 2010s like style pop punk, which now you guys are getting into this new phase of Honey Creek, where it's going to be like pop punk mixed with synth. It really reminded me of if you guys remember the band Farewell from like early 2000s. When you get a chance, anyone listening, check them out. I listened to them a lot. They did they added the synths in there. They're still pop punky, but it just really brought back a lot of those memories. What was the idea? I know we're missing. I'm terrible with names. Who is it that plays synth? Ellie. I know we're missing her, but like, what was the idea behind, kind of taking this new direction and starting to go with synths incorporating?
Well, I think the main problem is we don't want to repeat what's been done. Like, we don't want to just be a rehash of 2010s pop punk. We're all very into different pop styles, like hyper pop and all that stuff. And the synth kind of started off as like a Motion City soundtrack inspired sound, but we're trying to really push that and do something different and new.
Okay. I mean, it's coming across great. I mean, at this point of recording, you have 2 singles for your upcoming EP out so far, called Burnt Bitter and I Quit. And I mean, with this being the new window into Honey Creek, like, what's the response been on these so far?
Been good, I would say. I think people are responding to it well. I think it took a while for us to put new music. I think it's about a 2-year gap between.
Yeah.
Everybody, we had some singles out, but this was kind of, we're putting effort into a full release and kind of came back from being a little quiet. So I think people are pretty stoked and everyone's been pretty cool. And seems excited.
Pretty receptive.
We're excited, so
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of all
It's
that
just-
matters, isn't it? You stoked?
yeah, this will be the first release with our current and final lineup, so a lot more collaboration.
Our final lineup.
Guys.
Yes, yeah.
That's it.
I don't know, like I don't know you guys' full backstory, but did you guys have the issue where it was always like you were always down like a certain member, or just so many, life happens for everybody, so I mean it's understandable why you have all these changes.
I think it was more of, we just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It was, we band kind of like fell apart at one point, and then we kind of just put it all back together with a different set of members and a different vibe. There's like a definite like middle point, or like a threshold where we kind of entered this version of Honey Creek, and we've been running with it since we put out Transit. And it wasn't even like one particular, and we had like trouble with it, having like a second guitarist for a while, but it wasn't even one thing or another. Just we wanted to do things that other people didn't.
This is the way it evolved.
Yeah, and then we kind of kept pushing forward, and then finally, I think now we're a bunch of people with the same mindset, same goals. We're all on the same page, and it's just we've been rocking with this. And the joke too about it being the final lineup is we're like, no more members. Like this is it. If anyone quits, it's just over.
So we are still looking for an elusive seventh member.
Yeah, we're trying to make it to
market
7.
of, bassoonist. So if you know anybody,
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll put it out into the stratosphere, see what comes back.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you guys have a van big enough if you're gonna do 7+ gear. Like that's all I gotta say.
Well,
It's already
I think if we get a trailer, we could probably do an 8-piece and then gear in the trailer.
Yeah.
Ideally,
If we get the other bench put back in, we could be a 15-piece, a 12-piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in theory, we can fit a lot of members.
Yeah.
But it's pretty tight these days. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Pretty tight.
Yeah, I had a National Park Service over to the house, and we did one of these in person, and like I knew that they had 7 members, but you don't realize how many people is 7 until they show up and you're all in your living room, and you're like, holy shit, like do I have enough room to sit all these people?
Yeah.
We've run into that trying to find places to sleep on tour.
Yeah.
Where somebody was like, "Yeah, we'll sleep you on a floor, no problem."
Yeah.
How many of you are there? It's like 6.
Yeah.
Make it work, probably.
We also just got a new practice space, and the way that it worked is we met with a guy here. He is super involved with music and stuff, and he has this warehouse that he bought. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna build out rooms for bands to practice in." So we went in and met with him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking like a 14 by 14-foot room. I think
That'd be
that's
sick.
usually what we have for bands or whatever." And we're like, "Yeah, totally." And he built it. We brought 3 guitar cabs, a bass cab, a drum kit, some other gear, and then all 6 of us in there. And we were like, "Nope, there's no room. We can't do it like this. I think we need something bigger."
On the plus side, I think we practice pretty tight. We can't really move around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just sit there and play your instrument.
Also can't hear anything. It's just a big mess of sound in this tiny little room.
It's awesome.
What's I mean, this is a kind of like side question. It's also open forum, so anything you guys come up with, feel free to chime in. But like, when it comes to like playing shows, obviously, there's 6 of you. You've had to encounter like spots where like, oh, we're gonna fit just like the kit on the stage, and we're all gonna have to just kind of like arc out and just see what happens, right?
There's been some pretty small stages, and especially if they're like elevated, it's like half of us are just standing on the ground, which is cool. We
Yeah.
love a floor show. That's always a good time. And then Donnie's just sitting in his throne, looking
Down at all of us. Yeah. That's what we'll do is we'll split it. Sometimes I know when we played San Diego, I remember the stage was too high where it would have been weird. if some of us were on the ground.
Yeah.
So we all were on stage. We somehow fit all 6 of them on this little tiny stage.
Just cram it.
And it was we were all literally just kind of sardined up on stage.
I was like sideways for that whole set,
Yeah.
just like staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, it's
hoping
like
it
this.
was going
It
away.
probably looked ridiculous. I don't think we have any pictures of it, but it had to have been really silly looking.
I remember there was this one DIY spot in Des Moines that they had like this ridiculous drum riser that was, for whatever reason, was at least 3 foot higher than the rest of the stage. So like when whoever sat up there, they were like just eyeing, like overseeing everything that's going on. And then like the rest of the band is only like on not even a foot tall of a stage. You know, like that meme, like, oh, that's the stage. Like it was one of those.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Love situations like that. Wildest setups out there.
Right. Jumping back into this EP, it's a nice, quick 4-song EP, but I mean, it's, even though it's only 4 songs, I think the runtime is only like 10 minutes. There's just a lot going on that you don't feel like it's so quick and overdone, like, and done really fast. Like I know I listened to it since I got home at like 4:30. I listened to it probably as many times as I could before, sitting down. But yeah, I really enjoy that it's not just like, oh no, like we're already done. Like there's just all these moving parts, and then the addition of the synth, like that's just something that not a lot of bands are doing, especially in like the pop punk genre anymore. So it's a really nice touch to bring Ellie in and fill out that additional sound. Plus just the back and forth vocal wise, like adding that extra dynamic in there, like that cherry on top.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, really look to just expand. Ellie is so talented as a musician, really so many versatile roles to help build out the sound, and all of us put together arranging something that really feels full to us and sounds proper, So really got the magic touch out of it.
I think it's fun too when you have 2 vocalists that both have kind of their own identity. Instead of, I've seen like dual vocalist bands, which I would never throw shade or anything about that, but it's like sometimes they sound a little similar and you can like, it washes over. But I really like, for example, Mixtapes. I see you got the banner back there. They were one of my favorite bands back in the day, and I think they did a really cool job of like each singer, Maura and Ryan, had like really strong identities, even like lyrically, and like the way they like syncopated the melodies and everything when they sang just was really distinct and like cool. And I think that's a fun thing to play with.
Yeah.
100%. Like, yeah, I can also think of some bands that kind of have the vocals where they're just so similar, where it just could also be that like they're so wanting to go for like this overall sound that everything just meshes so much together, which is fine. But at the same time, you're like listening back and you're like, I know that there's 2 people singing, but I can't tell that there's 2 people singing.
Yeah.
I just last night I was watching a live video of Oasis play, which I've never done. I'm not a big Oasis fan. I just randomly happened to watch a video of Oasis play, and it's the 2 brothers, right? I have vague information about this. I know they don't like each other. You could also see that on stage, but one of the brothers is the singer and the other brother plays guitar. And I was watching them play, and then the rest of the band was just kind of like over in the back, and then the 2 brothers were kind of more forward. But I realized like that the singer brother was doing his sing thing, and then the guitarist brother wasn't like playing like a lead. He was almost like noodling through the entire song, but it like worked really well. And I realized, I was like, oh, they're both like, this is essentially like 2 front people, one fronts with vocals, one fronts with guitars, and he was just going crazy. And I was like, that's such an interesting thing. And you can also tell like probably why they hate each other. Like they're both vying for attention at the same time. Like I said, I don't know anything about Oasis, but I just thought that was like crazy. I was like, wow, this is like, it was really distinct, like the guitar playing, like it was really like voiced and like had an identity to it on its own. It was cool. Just an anecdote.
Well, I guess that needs to show up in the next like performance. Like one of you and Ellie just needs to like battle back and forth.
Yeah, me and him.
Yeah. with this EP coming out, I don't remember if I mentioned the name. It's called Self-Preservation. By the time this episode comes out, it'll already be out by a week or 2 weeks. But I mean, we have two more songs that are on here that people at this point in time have not heard of. One being the title track, Self-Preservation, and then the other one being Dollar Signs. I mean, still two solid tracks to finish out this EP that I really hope everyone else gets to enjoy. I think you guys are doing a little run this weekend, but then you guys are also doing the EP release show, I think sometime early August, that's
Yeah.
correct.
August 4th, yeah, in Milwaukee is the release show, and then 4th, 5th, 7th of August is our little release run.
What are you most excited about to showcase these songs for the first time, if you have not already been playing them on these current runs?
We've played them all twice in front of an audience.
I think Dollar Signs has only been played once.
Dollar Signs has been once.
We did a secret show in Milwaukee before, I think maybe right around when Burnt Bitter came out.
Yeah.
We were kind of starting up the machine, but we did a secret show and we played the entire EP just to make sure they all played live correctly.
Hopefully it's sound good.
Yeah, so we have played them all live. And then I think recently we've been playing Burnt Bitter for a really long time.
Since last summer, I believe.
Yeah, last summer. That was the first one that got written. That was the first one we wrote. Better way to say that. And then we started playing I Quit this year, and now Self-Preservation is in the set. Just because we have a lot of fun playing it. So we're like, yeah, we should just keep doing that. But I think I'm just excited for people to like know the songs. Just like right now, like Self-Preservation, you've heard it. I guess when this comes out, everyone else will have heard it. But like it has, a really bombastic ending, like a really like big moment, and we love playing that. But it's like it just like smacks the crowd in the face. They don't know like what's happening. It all happened so quickly. So like we're excited for people to like know like what's going on and to like get real riled up waiting for some cool moments on the EP.
Yeah, I feel like Self-Preservation and Dollar Signs in particular are like two really strong examples of what we're going for. Whereas Self-Preservation is kind of this really punk vibe song, like it's loud, it's fast, it's aggressive. And then you have Dollar Signs, which will be what it is when people hear it.
Yeah, people will have heard it when this is out.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh, it's varied, it's glamour, it's glitzy, it's huge,
Yeah.
it's pop, and it's that's exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers in Dollar Signs.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to play live too. It already
Yeah.
has good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exciting stuff for us.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing all these shows with this like mixed in between. So like, I mean, the next like between now and then like what is that 3-4 weeks are gonna just be action packed for you guys. I know one other thing I wanted to talk about tonight is there was supposed to be this really amazing show happening in Milwaukee. For anyone that's not in the Midwest or is not sure what's going on, there is this fast food chain born out of Wisconsin called Culver's, and you guys were going to be basically part of the Culver's version of the What the Fuck is Up Denny's, is like how I like to put it. And you guys were so close, and then Culver's pulled the plug. Like who?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the bummer.
like that would have been so epic. Especially like I don't eat at Culver's that often, but any band that gets to play like at a random spot that you would not ever anticipate them to play at is so sick. I know it was supposed to be like you guys, Mway. I think their name's Bug
Moment. Yeah.
Like how did that come about, and like whose initial idea was that?
That was a
was Bug Moment.
connection
Yeah.
somehow.
They like tweeted like who would play a show at Culver's like as a joke, and the response was huge. And I think they just like reached out.
Yeah.
Like, what if we did this?
So yeah, I really don't know how the pieces came together before they fell apart, but it was Bug Moment. I know they were the one driving the car. and they still are. It just got re-announced. It's happening at a skate park now,
Yeah.
which is cool. But yeah, I honestly, I don't really have too much information. I'm like, they were just like, you want to play covers? And we said yes. And then like a bunch of stuff happened, and then we weren't playing covers, and we were like, all right.
It's just one of those things where the internet almost really worked.
Yeah.
It really worked.
I think from my information, I just feel like Culver's didn't realize like what it was. I think there's just kind of
Oh yeah.
there's a little
Yeah.
murk.
And like the reaction was so crazy.
Yeah.
Like
It got like the local news stations covered it here. Like my mom was texting me like, yo, the Culver's thing. And I was like, yeah, the Culver's thing.
But
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
right. I mean, it could have been something really epic, and because I think it was sometime last year, I think Scow played at like a Sonic, which just was intense and out of hand in like the best way. Like I don't think anything like really bad happened, but it would have just been one of those more iconic like restaurant stories of like, yeah, there was a show that just like popped off here. But yeah, now it is being played at a skate park, which I mean, it's still just as cool, but it's not Culver's.
Yeah.
Culver's
I like
fucked up, man.
Sam's gonna rip it in the bowl, so that
Yeah.
would be cool.
Sam can skate, so we're gonna make him skate and play.
yeah.
Guitar and skate same time, ollies all day.
And then also later this year, you guys are, traveling, and you guys are playing Fauxchella this year.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And that the lineup for Fauxchella is always super sick. And anyone that gets to do it, I'm super happy that they're able to be a part of it. Is this how many years? First year? How many years have you guys played Fauxchella?
This is the first time.
First time.
Yeah, we've been friends with the Summit Shack team, crew, gang for a while. Like we played. When's the first time we played Summit Shack?
Like 2017.
2017.
Howard's.
Yeah, we've played Howard's before, which is where Fauxchella is, and like we've always just been homies. And then I remember they started doing Fauxchella, and then we were talking with them, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll put you on." But then the pandemic happened, and then everything kind of came out, a little lopsided, a little topsy turvy. So then finally, like we saw them around again finally because we were back on the road. So we were like, yeah, let's get on this year. We're excited now it's like way bigger than it's ever been. Fauxchella's like a huge. I see so many people talking about it. I have no perception of it. I'm like, yeah, so I'm gonna go see some friends, hang out. But this should be a good time. I'm excited. It's a fun venue. It's fun. All the bands playing are cool, and a bunch of friends. Just gonna be a big hangout weekend.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's like everyone that I keep seeing on like the lineup. I mean DIY Twitter has been, a godsend for this podcast and met a lot of people. And I just see like all these names on there that I've interacted with, and it just seems like it would be a great time just to like not only just play a show, but also just like hang out with people that you would not normally get to see or interact with in person.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the Thumbs Up gang is gonna be crazy that entire weekend. I think a bunch of Thumbs Up bands and Brady from Thumbs Up are getting like a big house all together for the weekend. It's gonna be unruly.
Well, just make it back to Wisconsin. Like, chill. Don't do anything too crazy.
Yeah.
I think we're too old for that
Yeah, we're-
ourselves.
Just let the
Can't
kids,
keep
yeah,
up.
they can do whatever they want over there.
So I mean, obviously, like we kind of mentioned, this new EP is kind of a new window into what Honey Creek is now and what it's going to be. I know it's just about to come out. It's still early. It is only a 4-song EP. What do you guys have in the works, or what's in your mind for kind of going in the future?
Yeah, things in the chamber. Couple things on the way to being
Yeah,
finished.
that's about it. There's not really much else to talk on at the moment. We want to keep the focus on self-preservation, but we do got some fun plans, some big ideas. I'm just gonna keep rocking.
Like the chest.
That's fair. I mean, in this position, I have to ask. Like I don't like to pry, but I got to do my due diligence.
We appreciate you asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other cool fun thing you guys did with Burnt Bitter, you guys actually did record a music video. We kind of, it's the first glimpse as seeing, your new work attire that you guys kind of wear, plus, some overalls. And you guys just kind of, I mean, after reading like the description on Instagram where you guys, have killed off yourselves, basically this is the music video that you need to watch to understand what's going on, and it kind of really does really well of symbolizing this whole, I feel like, transition into what Honey Creek is now. So I mean, props for that, and I'm sure we'll talk about some fun stories about any behind the scenes stuff here in a little bit. But was that always the idea to kind of do like, hey, we're gonna just do it this way and then send it off, or were there other original ideas for this music video?
There was a couple original ideas for the whole theme, I guess, of the EP, but at the end of the day, this just seemed right.
Yeah. I think we talked about a lot of different ideas, like Chris said, and it turned into, kind of like what you would recognize too if we're entering like a new era of Honey Creek. And the thing with the Burnt Bitter video is like we kind of came into it, we had a few like loose ideas here and there, and I started putting the pieces together. But essentially it was like, instead of being like some grandiose, incredible entrance of a transition, I think it was more of like, we had gone through a bunch and it was just like, yeah, like sometimes like changing, flipping the script, like is a struggle, or like pretty like tough thing, like, and that was kind of the idea behind it, is like, what if it's just like pure violence, or like a representation of such, like a really like a struggle to adapt and move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it came over well.
Yeah.
Are there any other? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's when this comes out though, the I Quit video will be out too. I think that's coming out probably like a week and a half from now. So
Yeah.
we're trying. We have a lot of fun with the visuals, and I think it speaks a lot to like what is going on right now with us and what we have moving. So we're gonna, we want to do a bunch of visual stuff with the EP as it comes out.
Hell yeah! Well, I'm stoked to check it out when it drops. I mean, I'm sure it'll live up and do even better, and keep going forward. So before we fully transition, is there anything that I might have missed between Honey Creek, self-preservation, or anything else you guys have going on?
I think that covers it.
I think so. Yeah, at the moment.
We're going on tour.
Yeah,
We did that.
we've been,
It's coming out. Got that one.
yeah,
Uh, I'm out of ideas.
yeah. No, I think
We're booked.
we're simple people.
That's fair. So before we fully transition to the later half of these episodes, this is obviously Beers with Bands. You don't have to be drinking on these episodes, but I will definitely do that for you.
Beer me, bro.
I know you guys have some cans in front of you. What are you guys drinking on this fine Monday night?
You're drinking some River West Stein of the NA variety.
Okay.
Tasty. Lakefront Brewery, hometown favorite.
Nice, nice.
There it is.
Mm.
That's good head. Okay.
I'm not gonna dignify that. Let's just.
Yeah, we'll just keep moving. And
Reasonable.
this episode, I kind of switched it up. If anyone remembers last week's episode, my dad drank all my PBRs while he was here. Went to the store, they didn't have PBRs in stock. So I'm drinking a good old Coors Light. I haven't drank one of these in a while, but
The Silver Bowl.
Silver Bullets are back. But I mean, that's the little beer segment for this episode. Now we're going to transition to my favorite part of the episode, which is always the later half of this episode, which is where we just kind of talk about some like fun stories from you guys' time of music, whether it's shows, tours, time recording, anything horrendous or tremendous, or any adjective in between. Like I normally think about it is think about like the stories that you always reminisce about with your friends. Those are usually the good ones that everyone would love to hear.
This is gonna be rough.
Stories from tour.
Stories from tour.
That's like, it's just like stories from tour are so like you gotta be there.
Yeah.
Like
That's fair.
I've kind of tried to like document them.
Yeah.
And
Tell them
I
about
have
this.
I have lists. I have lists of like tour from like whenever to whenever. And like the other day I was reading through them, I was like, I don't even know what this means.
Yeah.
It's like inside jokes that we come up with. And it's just utter nonsense.
Like turn me into paste on the pavement.
Was a
Like-
great song.
Dr. Birdman.
Dr. Birdman.
Dr. Birdman was pretty legendary.
Good tour story.
That's not a tour story. That was just me like delirious
Yeah.
in the van. We had a couple days off in Florida. We went to Disney World, which is strange because none of us are like that. Really, like we're not
Not
like
really into Disney.
super into Disney. We're just like, yeah, whatever. We're here, and we have the days off, so we went to Disney. And then after Disney, I came up with a guy. You know, like at Disney, like they work really hard to like maintain the like magic or whatever, and like
Yeah.
employees have to like stay in character at all times. I came up with this guy who he's like a character, and also there's so much. That's the thing is like we have to set everything up. You know how like the Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride first and then a movie. So sometimes like Disney will like have a thing at the park, but they make a movie later. So I was saying like one of those like test pilot characters would be the bird doctor. And he just walks around the park and does like he treats birds, like sick birds that die. On park grounds. Because the idea was like Disney would be afraid that like, oh, these children saw these birds die, it's gonna break the magic. So they created the bird doctor who's like, oh no, it's okay, it's part of the magic, the bird doctor's here to help. And
This is like I have like 20 to 30 lines per every note, and they're all this deep.
he also the bird doctor has like a Philly accent for some reason. And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna document that, me doing the voice, but there is a voice that goes along with it.
Yeah.
With lore.
A lot of lore.
Yeah,
Dr.
that's
Lore.
about that pretty much sums up what a Honey Creek tour is like
Yeah.
from our perspective.
Gotta fill that time in the van
Yeah.
somehow. So
Right.
spew bullshit.
Yeah.
We
We
totally
used to
have-
play Hey Cow while we would drive around.
Hey cow.
Hey Cow. So basically what you do is as you're driving and you see a cow or any other animal, it could be a horse, whatever, it's just we called it Hey Cow. But you basically would roll down your window, yell out Hey Cow at a cow or cows that are there, and however many you got to turn and look at you, that was how many points you got for that one.
Okay.
Oh.
It's so dumb, but yeah.
We did that with the trucks. What were they?
Oh, we counted prime trucks
Oh yeah,
on Highway 80
yeah.
all
We,
the way to California.
on the way to the West Coast, we tried to count how many prime trucks we could find, and I had like a notebook. I was keeping track of who saw what, but then we saw too many. We like gave up. Like
For a lot.
we got into like the 60s, and we were like, no.
This is-
Yeah, this is
think
it's
we're
like
also-
it's like a task now, like a chore.
We're counting several other things on that tour too.
Propellers on the ground.
Propellers on the ground from like windmills.
Mhm.
That was a good one.
Oh,
Very rare occurrence, mind you. If you
Yeah, it
didn't
goes into
have an
two.
idea.
We saw two.
I was about to say that I wouldn't think that would ever happen.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. you'd hope not.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
It's about as interesting as it gets, I think.
I don't know. We just kind of sit in the van, talk about aliens.
We could talk about Denton, but I don't know if we.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about that.
that.
No, it's kind of a bummer of a story. Yeah. Never mind.
Never mind.
All right. So for these instances, I do have some questions up in my head for times like these. So think back to a time when you're on tour. What's the worst place you've ever stayed?
Yes. I
I
don't want to like.
Yeah, it was so. Well, we knew that person.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I mean, we stayed in Arizona, just in a motel.
Oh,
had,
that was bad.
like
Yeah.
roaches, but that's
Didn't you get bit?
This is a nasty story. Yeah, we overnighted from somewhere to somewhere. We were in California trying to get. It wasn't Arizona. It was El Centro, California, is where we stopped.
yeah.
We got to El Centro, California, and it's probably about 2 a.m. We get like a motel room, and it was just the first motel off the highway. And it's July in the desert, so it was hot at night. It was like 90 degrees at night. We always try to put someone in the van. So me and Chris were in the van, and then the minute the sun came out, it jumped like over 100 degrees, and it woke us up. And we were like, all right, we have to go inside now. So we went inside, and I slept on the floor, and it was really gross. The entire place was really gross, but I slept on the floor, and then when I woke up, I just had I slept like this on my arm, and I just had a nasty rash all up my arm. I saw bugs and stuff crawling around, and
That
was like,
gnarly.
let's get out of here. That was pretty gross.
That's probably the worst.
Yeah.
The worst
And then
place.
there was another one that a lot of cat poop was involved, but I don't want to tell any more specifics.
Yeah.
They could potentially it could get back. So that's just there's one time with a lot of cat poop that was very not
All
fun.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So one of the fun things that I kind of miss about being on the road is all the kind of cool spots to stop and like eat. Because I mean, you hit them like once or maybe twice, depending on how you guys are routing. What are some like cool spots that you guys have come across that you always remember food wise?
The grilled cheese place in Alabama.
Oh yeah, that was cool. In Birmingham, we went to like this grilled cheese restaurant that was really good. I don't remember the name of it. And then the other one I remember is in Quad City, Iowa.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Quad
gee.
City.
We were playing at this like church or something. It was a really strange show, and we just walked out, and it was a tractor festival right outside. We were walking on the tractor festival, and we found this little Cajun restaurant. It was awesome. We all got po' boys. They were super cool in there. We were like hanging out with them. They came and sat at our table for a little bit. That was fun. It was the best. And we've had like po' boys down in like Louisiana. Those po' boys in Quad City, Iowa were like
some reason.
the ultimate version we've ever had. It was cool.
They're amazing.
For like fast food, I'd say we love Cookout. We always try to go to Cookout every time we're down south. Whenever on the East Coast, we'll hit Wawa a few times.
So Wawa has been failing.
Wawa's kind of dropping off. I don't know what's going on with that.
Last tour out east, it was not
Yeah,
as good.
I don't know. We kind of did everything, so now we don't have anything to look for. Like we did West Coast last year, and now we did the whole in and out thing, and now it's like, well, covered everything.
Yeah. I mean, there was like that hole in the wall hot dog place in Worcester.
Oh yeah,
That was
Incredible hot
that was really good
dogs.
hot dog. Yeah,
I didn't know you could have that many different varieties. of
Yeah.
hot-
Yeah, I know, really.
it was a really high quality hot dog.
Yeah, it was new too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know me and Dylan have a spot in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, we have a coffee shop that even if we're going through Indianapolis, we'll try to like get off and go to this coffee shop called Coat Check Coffee.
There was a spot in, I think it's in southern Indiana. It's like right off like the border between like Indiana and Kentucky. It's this pizza spot, and it's like really marketed just for like kids, but the old label like took us there one time when we like crashed at their place. So it's always like if we're in the area, we're gonna go, because you sit in this little like booth. There's GameCube there that you can like play like Mario Kart on, and there's like a little train that goes around that like brings you your drinks and shit. So that was pretty cool.
That's
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I like that.
And then like at the front, at the end of all the booths, there's like a full on like engine car that's like built, so like you can just take like wicked pictures with it. Hard styled so hard in front of it. It was great.
Premium photo ops.
Out of, I mean, you guys have played quite a bit of shows, but think back to all the ones you've done. Which one did you say was like your favorite lineup so far to play?
Like with other bands.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That is tough. Our favorite show lineup we ever played was us, Action Adventure, Knavery, Telethon, who didn't make it, and Mud Dog. R.I.P.
That was pretty dope. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was
Sounds like a sick lineup.
It's just fun to play with friends and stuff like that, especially like just like in celebration of doing like putting stuff out. Like we're excited for this release show too. We're playing with some cool people. Yeah, it's fun.
And just making friends like on the road too.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the best parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's one thing I miss is like I have friends that I made in like Colorado Springs and shit like that the last kind of tours that we like routed, we would just route to have like a specific day off at their place. That way we could just, hang out for a day. Like we didn't give a shit if we were playing a show or just like we get to see our friends that we haven't seen in like a year or two, like just hang out.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, we routed to her once so we could hang out in Mountain Home, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Our friend, like of all places,
Yeah.
we routed the entire tour to like meet up.
To like deep Ozarks.
Yeah.
And just hung out up there for a day. It was cool, yeah.
Y'all don't know where Mountain Home is, which you probably don't. It's like 2.5, 3 hours off the
Yeah.
highway.
It is off the beat path.
Yeah, and
Uh,
we play like a barbershop there, and like all the punk kids from
Yeah.
like this like however
The
mile
entire
radius,
town.
yeah, they all just come because it's like
No one ever played a show there. They'd all have to
Exactly.
go to, what was it, Fayetteville?
I think so. Like
Yeah.
next biggest.
So it was cool that we went there by accident the first time, and then we came back on purpose. But yeah, that was cool. That's what's fun about touring is like we kind of now, once you've been doing it like for a while, like every time you go on tour, then it's like, oh, I'm gonna see like homies in every city. Like it's way cooler than when you're starting out and you're like, oh sweet, we're in Atlanta. We don't know anybody here. We don't know any of the other bands. We don't know a soul in the whole city. And we have to like get out here and like make friends. So it's like cool to get back out and like be like, hey, what's up? We can catch up and do all that stuff.
And then you can like usually get a shower and a place to stay.
Yeah,
And it's not-
exactly. Yeah.
It's a lot less of a, hey, can anyone let us crash for the night type deal? Like we're
Yeah.
just 6 sweaty dudes, please. It's okay.
Yeah.
So as we wind down, I know we're a few weeks out at the time of this recording from self-preservation, but I mean, just kind of think back to your time in Honey Creek and like, what are your guys' favorite like moments so far of just being in this band with your friends? Obviously self-preservation is going to be another highlight, but like what's your highlight so far in this for this project?
I mean, speaking for myself, like I was a huge fan of Honey Creek before I like joined the band. And I posted a cover of a song one time and I was like air guitaring it in the shower, like I love that song. And then posted that cover, then they asked me to play the Transit release show with them. And that was like one of my favorite shows I've ever played. And it's a lot of cool to be in a band and I mean, on top of it, it's like a band that I was already a huge fan of. So I guess the whole thing is my favorite.
We're big fans of Emmerich, so we're
Top 10 guy.
yeah.
Your favorite moment, Sammy?
My favorite moment. That's tough. I mean, a long time ago, like in 2016, I had like a really like reaffirming moment. We had a tour that kind of fell through, but we had one show in Long Island. And this was when it was just me, Dylan, and Donnie, like in the band, like the previous lineup. But I remember like when we decided we were just gonna play this show and just hang out in New York and just do whatever. But
Just drove 14 hours right to New York.
Yeah.
For no reason.
we were
Well,
young.
one reason.
Yeah, one reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just like once we got there, I remember like after we played, just like feeling like I don't know, like we like made our mark in a different state, like so far from home. That was like a really like reaffirming and awesome moment for me personally. So that's always one that I think of. Yeah.
He's pretty good.
It's good.
Huh. I think my favorite moment was probably just a segment of time where for about 3 years, almost all of us, except for Emmerich, because it was a little pre-Emmerich at the time, all lived in the same house. All were able to work together every day, hang out together every day. And it's really cool to be surrounded by like-minded, driven individuals. Like as somebody who's been playing in bands or doing different musical things since the middle of high school or something like that, finally finding people you can rely on and trust is phenomenal, super cool. And being able to live and be able to do that all together is excellent.
I'd say I don't remember which show it was, and it's kind of almost happened a few times since. But
You're out of frame.
You
oh,
were
you could have just said so. Emmerich was making a weird hand motion down here, and I was really distracted. But we were playing at Cactus Club. It was sold out. It was kind of late, and we were just like playing this show. And I remember we played Green Line. And we like stopped right where it's just like everything drops out with the vocals, and then like also you didn't sing, no one sang, the
yeah.
crowd just sang it, and I was just like, that's cool. And then I looked over and I saw everybody like when it came back in, we all did the same little like squish in, like to hit it, and I was like, yo, like we're in our pocket right now, like let's go.
Yeah, everything in that venue just becoming one entity.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Brady from Thumbs Up, like when we played Pull You in Transit, the title song, like he got on the like mic and then like crowd surfed or whatever after. And I'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Like from one of our shows. So it was really cool.
Yeah. Well, hopefully all that happens again and again. I know you guys got all these crazy shows coming up. But everyone that's listening, please definitely go check out Self-Preservation. It's already out. It's got, probably like 1 million to like 1.5 million streams already. So, top of those charts. I want to give a big thank you to the four of you for taking the time out of your Monday for sitting down with me. If anyone's looking for merch, music, or Honey Creek in general, where can they find it?
I think honeycreek.band has everything.
Honeycreek.band will take you to our website. We got our merch store linked there. We got our shows coming up. If you want to know more about us, because you didn't just learn everything, we have an about tab, maybe. I don't know.
It might be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, honeycreek.band is our like main website, and then the merch store is just honeycreek.shop. If you want to just skip right to giving us money,
Yeah.
you can go
Feel
right
free.
there. So
We're having a liquidation sale right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna end soon.
everything's on sale, and it's not going to be on sale forever. So
It probably
won't be on sale. when it comes out.
So forget that.
We'll put something on sale the day this comes out. One thing you gotta go on there and find it though.
Beers with Bands, use code.
Yeah, the code will be BWB, and we'll give
All
you
right.
some percentage off.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
We don't even know yet.
Well, depending on where you found this episode, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or you watch the YouTube version, you got to see all their lovely faces like I did tonight. Make sure you check the description down below, hit those hyperlinks, go follow them on everything, on all the socials, stay up to date, be ready for, new music video coming out. By the time this is already out, be ready for upcoming shows. Go catch them at Fauxchella. Tell them if you go and see them at Fauxchella and you listen to this episode, tell them Michael says what's up, because I'm not going to be there because that's a distance and I can't take off for that. But I would love to. One of these days, I'm gonna hit up Fauxchella. But I mean, dudes, self-preservation, 10 out of 10. You guys killed it. I mean, I'm stoked for this, for everyone else to hear the rest of this and enjoy it as much as I have. And I'm stoked to see, what you guys have up your guys' sleeves for the next and the next and the next.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us on.
Yeah.
Dude, of course. Thank you for being down to be on. It means a lot that anyone, wants to do any of these. And it's not just me talking to the abyss in my mind or, things. But other than that, thank you to everyone that checked out this episode, and I'll catch everyone on the next one. See ya.
Beers with Biz.